Hello, hello. I'm getting better at coming in once that thing breaks like it does. But hi, everybody. My name is Linda Murray Bullard. They call me the Business Plug, and you have just tuned into the Business Plugs Mixer here on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook. And so we are recording live. I each week try to bring you interesting people who are doing magnificent things in their own right. And today is no exception. I am so happy for you to meet my guest. Her name is Anita Coward, and you are going to love her just like I do. So, before I bring her on, I want to tell you about the 29th of August. I am hosting a meetup, and it's an online meetup, regardless of where you are. It's an opportunity for women in their 40s and excuse me, not 40s, but 50s and 60s to get together to meet other women who are like them, women who feel like this is not retirement age. I still have a lot to give, and I get to give it the way I want to give it. I get to build the life I want to live, a life that I don't need a vacation from. And so that's on the 29th at 12 o'clock Eastern time. That's at noon Eastern time on the 29th, which is a Saturday. And if you're interested, those tickets are on Eventbrite and it's free. It's a free meetup, but an opportunity for women 50, 60, even 70 to come together and find your people. Like it is important when you're in this mode of life that you have people who encourage you to seek dreams and do the things that's been placed on your heart. So getting you away from the naysayers, because sometimes we can be in a group and they'll be like, why you want to do that at your age? And that's fine for them. But if that's not how you roll, I want to roll with you. That's what we're doing. And so with all that said and done, I'm going to introduce you to our guest. So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to my stage, my new friend, Anita Coward. Hey, Anita.
Hi there. So I cannot hear you, Linda.
You can't hear me?
I cannot hear you.
Oh, that's not good. I'm showing that the mic is going on. Can you check your mic, your system? I'm showing everything is
My
flowing.
volume is up. Can you hear me?
I can.
Okay.
Yeah, I can hear
So you
you, but
want
you
me to
can't
go
hear.
ahead and share. I cannot hear you, but I know you told me you wanted me to share with your audience how I got here.
Yes.
So I will begin.
Okay.
I I met Linda at Kaufman for a business convention, and she's so inspiring and invited me to be on this call to share with her friends and followers. And so 18 years ago, I was a mom to littles, and I woke up tired. I went to bed tired. I was tired all the time. And I had four little children, and my youngest son was in great struggle. He suffered from reflux. He had attention issues. He had
Mm.
allergy issues. He had skin issues. And he really struggled in school. It was impossible for him to memorize things. And because I homeschooled him, I had a front row seat to the struggles that he had. But he was 6 years old. He weighed 42 pounds and he
Mm.
was losing weight and he would not eat. So he was starving to death at our dining room table in
Mm.
America. And I went to the
Oh,
doctor, and the
mercy.
doctor said he had severe reflux and that he wasn't going to eat. That food hurt. So I
Mm.
I left the doctor's office with a prescription, with a diagnosis, and an approved food list. But the only thing on that approved food list that my son approved of was boxed macaroni and cheese. And you don't have
Oh.
to look at the box to know there's just not a lot of nutrition in boxed macaroni and cheese. But I came home happy because I had a diagnosis. I felt like I knew who my enemy was, and I had a weapon. He had given me a prescription. So I bought mac and cheese in bulk, filled my prescription, and came home and fed my son. And that day, he slept through the night without pain. Typically in the evening, I would hold him at a perfect angle, like I was his lazy boy chair, for him to fall asleep. And I'd peel away in the
Mm.
night and go get in my own bed. And we got to look forward to doing that again and again. So after
Oh.
we added this medication and I I got to sleep through the night. My brain woke up, and I realized after I fed him mac and cheese, mac and cheese, mac and cheese, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, I realized after 2 days of good sleep, I couldn't raise this child on macaroni and cheese. So a
Yeah.
friend shared with me a simple way to get some plants in his body. So I just wanted to add that so that I could say he was living on mac and cheese plus a whole lot more plants. So in my belief system, God created man and woman and placed us in a garden. And it was always his intention to restore our bodies from the
Mm.
garden. We've heard eat the rainbow, and we were not getting that done. Most Americans aren't getting that done. So a friend shared a simple way for me to do that. And we embraced that one simple change. It changed everything. He began to eat those. He eliminated that prescription. He started to eat real food. He started stealing spinach off my plate. And I said, Son, you don't have to steal this stuff. I was just tired of raking it into the trash. So he had allergies that would cause his nose would clog, so he'd breathe in and out of his mouth, and
Mm.
his lips would chap, crack, peel,
Mm.
and bleed. And even after the allergen was gone, all around his mouth it was dark, and the doctor said that was oxidative damage, and that it would always
Mm.
be that way. But he all of that cleared up. His attention in school improved. His allergies went away. His skin got better. His attention was better. And we were just so grateful because plants are hard. They are difficult. We all know we need them, but getting the variety, getting the quality,
Mm.
quantity every day, that is very challenging. And that
Wow.
one simple change made all the difference in the world.
Wow. And so that's how you
I
became
still
a
can't hear you.
oh, I don't know what to do because I'm showing that we're on. I don't know what to do. So let's do this.
So
So
I am
please.
keeping an eye on the time, and I know you have three questions for me, and the other one is who should be looking for me. So I would say um, anyone who recognizes the gap in their diet, what we should eat and what we actually do eat. So they recommend that adults get 14 servings of fruits and vegetables a day. So a child 7, about the size of your fist, and adults 14, and nobody's getting that done. But in addition to that, they're recommending that we get every color, and most
Mm.
people are eating green beans and broccoli, corn, maybe. That's all the variety we're seeing. And
Yeah.
the recommendation is the variety of 30 different plants in a week. And again, that's challenging with all the E. coli recall of the different things that are on raw plants. They're the best thing for the body, but you have to know that they're pure and clean. And so, anyone who recognizes that gap and really wants to fill that gap, also, anyone who feels like they have the responsibility to nourish a child.
Mm.
Because for the longest time, I was like, I've got to go feed my kids. So mac and cheese does that, but it didn't nourish my child.
Mm.
And so if you recognize that that is our responsibility, is to nourish them, to provide the rainbow every day, then this is a simple way, because it literally has the variety of every color. And with that, it literally supports every organ in the body. So that's your
Wow.
brain, your heart, your lungs, your spleen, your, you know, everything. Organs I didn't even know I had. I'm now supporting them with this. And I love also that our company, the company that I partnered with, provides this free for a child. So an
Um,
adult invests in their own health for
mhm.
literally less than $3 a day. And then they
Mm.
can sponsor a child of their choice between the ages of 4 all the way to their 26th birthday.
Wow.
So that is like $11,000 over that lifetime. And that
Yeah.
is grant for groceries. This is a
Yeah.
fully funded program. And as a mama that had this change everything about our lives, he
Yeah.
was in school more, you missed less work, he got better grades, he's out of the pediatrician's office and back on the playground. And he's craving better foods. And that is what happens when you can flood these plants into your body. You actually start to crave the things that nourish your body. So I wanted every mama to know about the Kids Eat Free program. It's called Healthy Starts. And you could
Mm.
just text me Healthy Starts, and I would be happy to connect on a live call and talk to you about what is the struggle and how do you want to address that. So also, anyone who wants to, so the child also they can get it in a chewable or in a capsule.
Mm-hmm.
And they get the 20 plants that literally, that one simple change
Mm-hmm.
changed everything for my son.
Wow. That's amazing. That is absolutely
So
amazing. Yeah.
I
So
hope other people are hearing you. I still can't hear you.
I hope they are
Um,
too.
so
If
who
you can
should be
hear
looking
me,
for
put
me?
something in the chat
And
to
then
let me
what
know
should people take away from
we can
this
hear
call?
you.
So the other thing that I didn't mention is that children are living on sugar. They're living on sugar and chicken nuggets, right? So changing what it is that they crave is really, really powerful. So I want people to know that plants are powerful, but plants are only powerful if you can check 4 boxes: quality, quantity, variety, every day. So,
Mm,
quality, you want it to be non GMO, you want it to be
right.
vine
Yes.
ripened, you want it to be picked fresh. Um, and so, our company has NSF certification, which stands for National Sanitation Foundation. And so they literally test it for purity. And
Mm,
so you're never going to have an E. coli recall on the spinach that's inside of our product, and
mm,
all those other scary things. We know we need it, but if it's contaminated, it could harm us. So you
yes.
want quality, you want quantity. So 7 to 13, right? So our product, the product that the children get free, is the variety of 20
Mm,
different plants, and it's the variety of the color. So it literally is blessing every organ in their body. So not just
mm,
their brain, their heart, the lungs, but every organ. And when you can bless, so this is building on a cellular level. So it does
right.
take time. It took a while to get where I am in my health. And so we're not going to change that overnight.
Mm,
But when you begin to build on a cellular level, you build new cells, which build new tissue, which build new organs, which build new organ systems, and it brings your body into balance. So, whatever is out of balance, you want to bring it back to homeostasis. And so,
absolutely.
Juice Plus doesn't claim to prevent or cure disease, but we know that it gets into the body. We have 49 gold standard studies that show that
Mm,
it's bioavailable, it gets into the cell, and it supports cardiovascular wellness, the immune system, gut health, cognitive health. It supports healthy DNA. It goes on and on. 49
mm,
studies. So, um, I want people to know that plants are powerful, but they have to meet all that criteria, and you have to get them every day. And so that's
yes.
hard, because another person that should be looking for me is someone who thinks that eating healthy is expensive, because
Mm,
plants are the most expensive thing in the store, but you literally can make this investment in your own health and bless a child and get all that done for less than $3 a day. And
that's
I would love
good.
to help you do that. I'd love to be part of your story and watch you change your health, but also generations to come. And it so many people also feel very um, stuck. They feel trapped
Mm,
in their own DNA. This
mm,
runs in my family. This is going to happen. It happened to my mother and my
mm,
grandmother. But your DNA is your starting line. It is not your finish line. It is
mm.
not your destiny.
I
So
like that.
you literally can create the life you love, and you're not captured by what's been true, and
Mm,
your choices can absolutely set new options in place for
absolutely.
generations to come. It is
Absolutely.
perfectly safe for you to take with medications, unless you have a food restriction. And it is
Mm-hmm.
safe for the womb. It is safe for a baby that is forming, and it is safe all the way to the end of your life. So, um, remember, I said it supports every organ in your body. So,
Mm-hmm.
an expectant mother has a brain and is growing a brain, has a heart and is growing a heart.
Mm-hmm.
So, really, we love, many moms have used this as their prenatal because
Mm-hmm.
it supports every organ in the body and it's just plants. It has a nutrition label, not a supplement label,
Mm-hmm.
and it's safe and pure and clean. So,
Love
I would
that.
also invite you to consider joining me in sharing this. Literally, everybody needs to know about this, and almost no one does. So, I would love to invite you, and we do have a promotion in August that's super special, and I'd love for you to text me to learn all about it.
I
How are
love
we
it. I
doing on
love it.
time, Linda? I think we're doing great.
We're doing
I know
good.
you
We're
said it would
good.
go quickly.
Yeah, it does go quickly. We're doing good. We're doing good.
Yes.
So yeah, so this thing, so look in the chat. I think I'm gonna text you so that way we can talk that way. So hold on one second. You know what? The thing about doing this work is you have to be open to all the things. And so I'm calling her on her cell to see if I can. That's me.
Hey there.
That's me.
Hey there. I
Hey.
hear you.
Yeah, so I want to make sure that you can hear me. We got about 12 minutes left, but I wanted to make sure you can hear me. But what I want to talk about is if somebody's looking at this, you've given great information. Like we all need this information. We all know that we don't get enough vegetables in our diets, or even with a meat, 3 vegetables or 2 vegetables or whatever. The quality of vegetables are not the same. Right. And so you talked about a lot of different things. You talked about the quality of it. You talked about the consistency of it. And so I want to make sure that our listeners don't skip that.
Right. So, yes, the quality, I don't know if your audience can hear you, but it is grateful. I'm grateful that you called me. um, yeah. So, most Americans are living on sugar, and sugar is hidden in everything, and sugar sabotages the immune system. And the thing about gut health is the gut is your second brain, and it actually controls more of what you're craving than you do. So it calls all the shots and tells you what you want to eat. And if the gut bugs living inside of you are detrimental, they're not the good ones, they are calling for sugar. And you have to turn that around, and you turn that around by consuming a volume of plants. And once you do, the the bad gut bugs actually fall away because that is not their favorite diet, and they begin to die off, and the
Mm,
good gut bugs, the good gut bacteria populates, and then they begin to crave good things, and they start sending the signal to your brain and literally change your cravings. And for mamas who have babies that are struggling and they want chicken nuggets, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, or mac and cheese. That was my story. Um, when their babies start craving fruits and vegetables, that's a battle mama can win.
yeah.
Mamas don't want a battle at the dining room table, right?
No.
And
Right.
so when you can provide this chewable for a child and do it every day, slowly they start to reach for the carrot instead of the candy bar.
Mm,
And many parents don't believe me. They're like, yeah, I'll call you when that happens. And then they call me and they're amazed that their child is reaching for strawberry instead of a candy. And
mm,
they're asking for water instead of soda, or, apple juice is loaded with sugar. It's
yeah.
much better that a child reach for an apple,
Right.
right?
Right.
So, as close to how it appears in nature is better. So, not apple juice, not applesauce, but an actual apple. That is whole food.
Yes.
And people often turn to vitamins and they think vitamins are going to save their diet, that gap.
I know.
But a vitamin has just a handful of mega dosed, often synthetically produced vitamins. But an apple has 10 to 12,000
Mm,
vitamins, minerals, trace minerals, and antioxidants in a whole food, in a vitamin, an apple. And
mm.
in that apple, it may only have like 5 milligrams of vitamin C, but because it has all of the other supporting actors in that apple, all of its buddies, then your body can actually put to work that little bit of vitamin C more thoroughly because it has all the supporting characters. And
Absolutely.
so your body is way more blessed by getting the vitamin C from the form of an apple. Also, an orange has 85% of the
Yeah.
vitamin C in an orange is found in the peel. And I don't know
Oh,
about you, but
that's
when I enjoy an
interesting.
orange, I do not eat the peel.
I don't eat the
But when
peel.
you get this variety of plants and you get it in the capsule or the chewable or the superfood stick that goes into water, you're actually getting the peel as well. And so
Oh,
it's just
good.
a simple way. This is shelf stable produce. And
Mm,
so this is produce that won't rot in your refrigerator. It's produce that your child will actually eat. It's affordable. It's easy enough to do every day. So it checks all of the boxes.
it does. It
Makes
really
sense?
does. Yeah, it makes sense. It makes
I
great
can't hear
sense.
you.
Yeah, yeah. It makes great sense. And that on that level, helping
I still
people.
have you on the phone, but I can't hear you on the phone either now.
Oh, sorry. I hit on
Okay.
mute.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was me. But when you're talking about all the different when people take those multivitamins, because I have to take a lot of vitamins since my coma because my body does not process like D2 and all the things. And you talked about how taking Juice Plus, it actually all the characters, because with vitamin D2 they tell you to take vitamin K, and so you're talking about all the different things that you need to support that getting in your system is in that form, right?
Right. And it's coming to you in the form that God intended. God created man and woman and placed us in a garden. He
Right.
didn't place us in a pharmacy. He didn't place us in a vitamin shop. He placed
No.
us in a garden. And so the garden is all of the vitamins, minerals, trace minerals, antioxidants that are needed for human um, top performance is in a plant.
Yeah.
So yeah, and the body, when it shows up in the body, your body says, ah, this is an apple. I know what to do with an apple. When I
Yeah.
was in first grade, I thought it was on my test, why we needed plants and animals on the same planet. Like we would trade carbon dioxide and oxygen,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
And I thought that was the only role that we shared on this planet. But human DNA is actually restored by the plant DNA that we consume. So when
Yeah.
our body goes to make a new brain cell, it goes to our pantry in our bodies
Hmm.
to pull from plant DNA to create the recipe for a new brain cell. And most Americans are not consuming any plant DNA. And we know
No.
plants regenerate, and we don't. We have to restore from the inside, and our
Yes.
bodies are constantly building new cells. But we need
Yes.
that raw material to build that next cell.
Absolutely.
And I tell people when I'm speaking to children, I tell them, you can build that next brain cell and you can build it with toothpicks or 2x4s. And, chicken nuggets, that is just not going to get it done.
Yeah.
And we need to give our bodies some strong foundational foods for
Mm.
them to build better cells. And as
Yes.
we age, that becomes even more significant.
That is so true. I love that you said the 2x4 versus the toothpick, right?
Yeah, I don't want to live in that house. Do you?
No, no.
Yeah. And these are our bodies. Like, this is where we are going to live all the days of our life. And so we better take care of this body.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes.
And in the Bible, it tells us to present our bodies as you know, unto God. It's supposed to be a sacred place. We're supposed to be doing all the work that we do for Him. We do through this body. So as a living sacrifice, right?
Right, right.
Yeah,
As
that's
an
what the
act
word
of
is.
worship.
Yeah, it is.
Yes.
And so that's what we should be doing, is taking care of our bodies. I so appreciate you coming on to talk about nutrition and talk about all the different things that help us to stay healthy. And we're getting ready to go back into COVID season. I've started to see people going, more cases being reported, more people on my timeline is saying, hey, I have COVID. And so, we have to start finding natural ways to keep ourselves healthy.
Right. Well, the foundational piece is to support your immune system.
Absolutely.
And we have 5 studies that show that doing this and doing it every day
Uh-huh.
supports and strengthens the immune system. We also
Yeah,
have 2 studies that show it supports the respiratory system, the pulmonary. And so
absolutely.
those are very significant in strengthening your body in a preventive way. Not that it's going to prevent or cure a disease, but it will put you in your strongest place so that when you're
Absolutely.
exposed to things, the flu, any number of things,
So many
your
things.
immune system is your coat of armor.
It
And so
is.
you want it to be as strong as possible.
Absolutely. And so now is the time, because we're getting ready to go into flu season, and things are, all the germs, it used to be we could put code on, in the air to kill the germs, but now these new viruses, they live in the code. So everything has reversed of what it was, but it pays to be aware of building a defense in your body so that your
Hmm.
body can naturally deflect some of these illnesses that are going on. They got measles and the
Hmm.
flu and COVID and so many things,
Yes.
so many things. We
And the
want to make
children are
sure
going back to school. And
that,
so they go back to school and give them a couple of weeks, and they're going to be at the pediatrician's office. And that might be common, but it doesn't need to be normal.
right.
Children do
Yeah.
not have to get every little thing that comes along. And we've just heard so many stories and so many grateful mamas that their babies are at school where they want to be and on the playground, and mama's able to be at work. But bottom line, this is their childhood.
Yeah.
And we don't get to do this over.
No.
Like, let's let them fully enjoy their childhood.
Absolutely. And then us too, because we're, I'm all about living your best life and creating the life you want to live. And you can't do that if you're sickly.
Right, right.
And so, getting our bodies where it needs to be. I do thank you. So as we're wrapping up, we have about a minute, a little bit over a minute more to do. But what what one or two takeaways would you like anyone that's viewing this interview to have?
Just don't underestimate the power of plants. If you have tried in the past to change your life with plants, just know that when you go to the grocery store and try to buy that at the store, it would be difficult to eat the volume needed to change your life, because plants, 80 to 85% of plants that we purchase at the produce department were grown to ship, and they shipped from California. So they were picked before they were allowed to ripen, and so they
Mm,
didn't get all the nutrients that are in these chewables and these capsules. And
absolutely.
then once the produce is off the vine 2 to 3 days, it's lost 50% of what it did have. So
Mm,
vine ripened and picked fresh are very, very important. And so the produce that we're buying at the store is less than. It's just the nature of getting it to us. And
right.
then sometimes people are juicing and they're going to the store, but if they're buying anything that's less than organic, then they're drinking concentrated pesticide.
Mm,
Also, not helpful. So,
absolutely.
this is not expensive. And so, people can think it wouldn't do all that they think the hard stuff does. It is one simple change, but what happens in the body, in your physiology, is no small thing. So I would
Absolutely.
encourage anybody to try it for 4 months and just
Mm,
see what happens inside their physiology.
I love that. I love that. And 4 months, and they tell you it takes about 90 days anyway to get in your system. And then
Four
you get
months
to
to
see, yeah.
build new red blood cells.
Absolutely. I think that's a great idea. Your contact information is wherever they're listening to or viewing this interview. And so, you all, if you are interested in getting on a wellness, right? Because we're not talking about cutting all the things, all the dieting and all the things. But if you're talking about a lifestyle change that could really benefit you, then please reach out to her. If you're watching this in the replay, thank you for watching it. And her information is wherever you're listening to this, wherever you're viewing it. So please reach out to her. As I close, my name is Linda Murray Bullard. They call me the business plug. I just plugged you into Juice Plus. Join me here next Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, for more of the Business Plugs Mixer. Have a great week, everyone. Have a great week. We'll see you next week here on the Business Plug Mixer.